Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Hayes here. This week you have an assembly from me. Mr. Hannah is very busy in school every day and asked if I could do one of the assemblies, and I'm absolutely delighted and of course said yes straight away, as I've missed doing whole school assemblies with you all. I've been doing my Key Stage 2 assemblies and I've just started a Key Stage 2 story time as well, so I hope some of you are listening in to those videos too. I wanted to spend this time as well to say well done to all of the children in reception and Year 1 and Year 6 who have been able to go into school. We opened our doors back to those children, to those year groups, and I am so proud to hear so many of you have returned and are enjoying the learning that's going on at school. It's not the same and it's not easy at all. It's not easy for the teachers either, but they are doing their best and I know that you are doing your best as well. I'm popping into school every now and again, but obviously I can't go in to see what's going on in your lessons, but I'm hearing wonderful things from all the teachers, and all the teachers couldn't be more proud of the effort that you're putting in. So well done to all of you. This week, I am basing my assembly around one of my favourite books called Sally and the Limpet by Simon James. I've been spending a lot of time down at the sea now and down by the beach as the weather has been getting nicer. I'm someone who likes to go out on the water a lot, sailing and particularly paddleboarding. So I've based my assembly around this book, and I know a lot of you love Mr. Hannah's craft ideas that he gives you after his assembly, so I've tried to put one of them together, and I look forward to having some responses from you all to see how you get on with it. Sally and the Limpet by Simon James. Not long ago, on a Sunday, Sally was down on the beach, exploring, when she found a brightly coloured, bigger than usual limpet shell. She wanted to take it home. As she pulled, the limpet made a squelching noise and held on to the rock. The harder Sally tugged, the more tightly the limpet held on, until suddenly Sally slipped and fell, with the limpet now stuck to her finger. Though she pulled with all her might, it just wouldn't come off. So she ran over to her dad. He heaved and groaned, but the limpet made a little squelching noise and held on even tighter. So that afternoon, Sally went home in the car with a limpet stuck to her finger. When they got home, her dad tried using his tools. Her brother tried offering it lettuce and cucumber. But that night, Sally went to bed with a limpet stuck to her finger. The next day, it was school. All her friends tried to pull the limpet off Sally's finger. Mr. Blueberry, the nature teacher, said that limpets live for 20 years and stay all their whole lives on the same rock. In the afternoon, Sally's mother took her to the hospital to see the doctor. He tried chemicals, injections, potions and pinches. Sally was beginning to feel upset. Everyone was making too much fuss all around her. She kicked over the doctor's chair and ran. She ran through the endless corridors. She just wanted to be on her own. She ran out of the hospital and through the town. She didn't stop when she got to the beach. She ran through people's sandcastles. She even ran over a big man. When she reached the water, she jumped in with all her clothes on. Sally landed with a big splash and then just sat quietly in the water. The limpet, feeling at home once more, made a little squelching noise and wiggled off her finger. But Sally didn't forget what Mr. Blueberry, the nature teacher, had said. Very carefully she lifted the limpet by the top of its shell. She carried it back across the beach, past the man she had walked over, and gently, so gently, she put the limpet back on the very same rock where she found it the day before. Then, humming to herself, she took the long way home across the beach. I do love that story, and I love how Sally listened to her teacher, Mr. Blueberry, at the end and put the limpet exactly back where she had found it, thinking about looking after nature and looking after the animals in the water as well. Some of you may have been rock pooling before, whereas some it might be a new thing. As the weather's getting nicer, a lot of you might be spending some time down by the water, down by the sea. So I've put together some pictures of animals, creatures that you might find if you were rock pooling. Now, rock pooling is a thing where you go down to where there's very shallow water and you lift up very gently and carefully rocks or small stones. I would recommend you do this with an adult or someone else. And underneath or around the water, you might find little creatures. So I want you to have a go and see next time you're down there if you can spot any of these animals. You might want to get an adult to take a screenshot of the pictures on this page so you can take this down to the beach or down to the coast somewhere and have a little look at what you can spot. Remember to ask an adult to help you and be gentle with anything that you pick up, remembering to put it back just like Sally did after you've taken a look at it. Now for my craft activity. This week, why not create your own seaside in a bottle? You don't have to go down to the beach, you don't have to go down to the sea to do this one. You could do this at home. But if you were down at the beach, perhaps you could collect a few items, things that you've seen that will be a nice memory for you that you could then put into your bottle. So on here you can see the things, the supplies that you would need to build it. Feel free to make it your own. But what I like about this is we're reusing some things that perhaps would probably just get thrown away. So have a little look and see if you can find a bottle in your house and begin my project. So the first thing you need to do is get a funnel and pour some sand. And if you don't have sand, you could use very fine little stones and pour it into the plastic bottle until it is about a quarter full. Now choose some objects to make your seaside scene. I used shells and pebbles, but again, this is your opportunity where you could add things that you collected from down at the seaside. Now the next step, you'll need to add a few drops of blue food colouring. You don't have to do this, so if you don't have it at home, don't worry. And a tiny bit of washing up liquid into water. Then you're going to pour, using the funnel, that liquid into your bottle. It's very important that you screw the lid on very tightly to your bottle now. You could even screw it on and then put some sellotape round if you wanted to get an extra seal. Place it on its side and allow the contents to settle. You should end up with your very own seaside scene. Next, you could make a tag for your bottle using scissors, cut out a rectangular shape of card, then use a hole punch to make a hole at the end. I stained mine with tea bags to make it look old and rustic. You could then use a fine line pen or a pencil and create your own little tag. Maybe it's got your name on it or where you went to the seaside. Finally, using a bit of thread or a length of ribbon or wool, tie it around the neck of the bottle and attach your tag onto it. And there you have it, your very own seaside in a bottle. I wonder how many of you can be creative and create your very own. And if any of you do, please take a picture of your final product, and maybe even take a picture if you're down at the water doing some rock pooling as well. I would love to see what you're all up to. Obviously, it's very important to stay socially distant and stay safe. So everything that you do this week, ensure that you are doing it following the guidance that is expected of us. And there you have it, my assembly this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can go and learn something new from it. And I didn't mention it at the beginning, but it is also very important to mention all of you at home who are also continuing to do your home learning. I know now we're very far into it, and a lot of you have got a little bit fed up with home learning and would love to just be back in school. Stay focused, stay working hard, and I hope that we all get together soon, because I'm missing school very much, and I'm sure there are a lot of you who are also missing not being in. Have a lovely weekend, and as I said before, I look forward to seeing some of these final creations. Goodbye.